it's no longer on the critical path, and so they'll take their time with it. It's not on the critical path. The critical path, you hear that term thrown around in construction a lot, so let me just kind of, generally define it for you. The things that are on the critical path are those tasks which, if they are delayed and you do nothing else, will delay the completion date. So right now the completion date is July 31st, 2020.
Right.
If an item's on the critical path, if it slips a day, unless we do something to mitigate that, it will then push the July 31st date to August 1st. There are a lot of things on a schedule that are not on the critical path. The schedule currently has over 43,000 individual tasks, and a lot of them aren't on the critical path. They could slip a day, a month, maybe even 4 or 5 months, depending on what the tasks are.
And it wouldn't matter.
And it wouldn't matter. Now, ultimately, ultimately everything has the potential of being on the critical path. If it's necessary to open and operate the building, and it slips long enough, it could jeopardize the completion date. But there are many things that realistically don't fall into that category. So the roof is actually one, because there's no successor tasks dependent upon that roof being completed, such that at this moment in time, if they aren't accomplished in a certain time frame, jeopardize the timely completion.
So I guess the big question is, what is on the critical path?
The field level is definitely on the critical path. That's why you see, that's why getting the cable up out of the way in order for the cranes to come in and place the rest of the 800 pieces of precast concrete seating treads was vitally important. So the cable net being up out of the way, so that then we could bring in excavation equipment and move this dirt and now expose the field to be able to be worked on for the rail system, for the underground utilities, and for the concrete slab itself. All that was very necessary. But now that cable is up out of the way, it really is no longer significant in terms of the current schedule's critical path.
Got it. Are there things that are on the critical path besides the field?
Oh yeah, out of 43,000 tasks, there are many, but the field is the largest recognizable one. And then we go into other things like the locker room development, the suites, things like that.